Hello, everyone. I've been wanting to speak on the Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel situation the whole way through, but the thing is, I got other shit going on, and every time I'm ready to record something, people have already put out all the information, and I don't want to just put things out there just to put things out there. Like, I want to actually contribute to a conversation. I'm not into just echoing shit. So I happen to have a free hour today, so I am recording this shit. Please, everybody else on YouTube, do not post anything about this until me. Let me get this one, just this one, pretty please. One of the first things that I wanted to mention that is now established is the conflict of interest. It's not that people want to get into people's personal business, this person's affair or whatever. I know people like celebrity gossip, but I've never been into that. But why did I care about this? It's because it's a real conflict of interest between two people in an industry, and their relationship is a literal conflict of interest. I'm sure you could conceptualize why. On the personal tip, it is messed up because they're both married with not each other people. Additionally, here's some photos. Another conflict of interest I really wanted to mention was the fucking news coverage on it. Media members, a lot of them, most of them, let's be objective here. We don't know. You know what the real story is, guys? Who would take these pictures? Who would want to put this hit piece out on Dianna Russini? Who would want to do this? So they tried to deflect it into who is responsible for this leaking. Interesting. Who is responsible for exposing a conflict of interest? That person is bad. But he exposed the thing that is bad. Conflict of interest. The media is like, oh, who is this nefarious, malicious person? Whoa! Obviously, media coverage is going to be a conflict of interest in and of itself, because they're going to cover their buddy, Dianna Russini. They're going to have her back a little bit. I'm sure Dianna understands that they can't have her back blindly, but they got to have her back a little bit. Same with former player podcasts. Half of them are keeping it real. Half of them, in my opinion, you could tell they played for Vrabel, or they play for people who are close to Vrabel. Like, you don't want to throw him under the bus unnecessarily too. So I don't knock him for that. Look, the NFL is like a big fraternity / sorority. They have each other's back. We're not perfect, but we're not going to throw each other under the bus publicly. I get it. You can disagree with them. You could fight them, argue with them within the building, but not in public. I totally understand that. But the coverage itself, half the time, was a conflict of interest in and of itself. I just want to make sure that that is freaking clear. With that being said, why did I just waste 60 seconds of your life saying that? Because there were literally people who said, where's the picture? Bada bing. Yes. Look, there's two people. They're in a hot tub together. What? I can't be in a hot tub with Vrabel? You fucking dumb fuck, and I'll say it to your face too. You just ignored over half the photos and half the situation. You cherry picked this. Oh, well, this is harmless. It's just sitting in a hot tub. What? What do you mean, what? Here's them hugging. Okay, this is a little gray area. Nothing nefarious explicitly. Look, they're interlacing fingers like two first graders who fell in love. Are you fucking... This is not a normal shit. So yeah, the people who said, well, I can't be in a hot tub with a coach, and then, well, I gotta be accused of, like, being sexually involved with him? No, you dumb fuck. Nobody said that. If you are in an adults-only resort, in a hot tub, and you're hugging him like this, let me touch that hip flexor, baby, and you're holding his hand like this, and you're having just you two breakfast, just the two of yous, then people are going to say, oh yeah, these guys are lovers. Not just cherry picking the most harmless photo. You fucking asshole. Keep it real. We're not fucking stupid. Anyway, that's out the way. One other thing. Goddamn Dianna Russini. So Dianna Russini led a resignation to The Athletic. Everything I have to say about it is below. Here's the gist of it, okay? I'm not going to subject you to reading out loud in your second grade reading level. I'll summarize it. Basically, she's full of shit. The part that's important right now is that she is complaining. You know what? Fuck it. Let me just read it right quick. Please accept this letter as my see you later shitlords to The Athletic. Effective right this second. I've come to this decision with deep sadness, but with clarity about what is right for me and my family and the work I have spent my career building. You and I have already publicly addressed the recent attacks against me, and I have nothing to add publicly to what we have said. I've covered the NFL with professionalism, dedication throughout my career, and I stand behind every story I've ever published. When the Page 6 item first appeared, The Athletic supported me unequivocally, expressed confidence in my work, and pride in my journalism. For that, I'm grateful. Pardon me. Compliments to the chef. In the days that followed, unfortunately, commentators in various media have engaged in self-feeding speculation that is simply unmoored from the facts. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Come over here. Look at me in my duck eyes. What the fuck is she talking about? She had some of the most having her back ass coverage on this ever. The only people who didn't have her back was like people like me, like regular people on YouTube talking about shit. What do they call them? I guess commentator people, commentator ass heads. First Amendment right. Go fuck yourself. But when it comes to actual media, they had her back. They had her fucking back. What the fuck is she complaining about? All right, moving forward. Moreover, this media frenzy is hurtling forward without regard for the review process The Athletic is trying to complete. Okay, stop right there. Come back. Then let them complete it, and then it'll be cleared. Like it answers itself. What are you talking about? Continue. It continues to escalate, fueled by repeated leaks, and I have no interest in submitting to a public inquiry that has already caused far more damage than I'm willing to accept. Okay. Rather than allowing this to continue, I've decided to step aside now before my current contract expires. I do not do this because I'm accepting this narrative that has been constructed around this episode because I refuse to lend it further oxygen or let it define me or my career. Okay, let me tell you a little about Dianna Russini. I'm a New York Jets fan. Everything Dianna Russini has written about us, it's as if we did something to her in a past life. Like, we harmed her and her family in some unforgivable way. She has ruined people. She has made a career, not just the Jets. She has made a career out of ruining people's personal lives, ruining people's professional lives, fucking up their contracts, fucking up their families. And she says, hey, this is just journalism. When it happens to her, all of a sudden it's a fucking issue. All of a sudden, oh, this is so unfair. This is terrible. I refuse to lend it oxygen. This is malicious, effectively, is what she's saying. She's been doing this her whole fucking career to everybody around her. What the fuck are you talking about? If you dish it, you got to be able to take it. And it's so easy to take. If you're innocent, just let them do the investigation, clear your name. And you're like, see, idiots? What was the point of all this? Leave for what? Leave to refuse to give it further oxygen. You know what cut off the oxygen on lies and rumors? Let the investigation happen. You can't do that in court, right? If you're being accused of something in court, you know how you clear your name? You win the case. You let the investigation go through. You're not going to find any evidence of me picking my nose on 22nd Street. I never did that. You let them do the investigation, pull up all the CCTVs, whatever, and your name will be clear. That's how you do it. You don't clear your name for picking your nose on 22nd Street by saying, you know what, as the investigation is heating up, I don't want to give this further oxygen. I'm leaving. And then you just fucking walk out the courtroom right as they're about to present the evidence against you. That's not how you clear the air. You can't do that in any other place on planet Earth. In any other place, if you walk out right as they're about to do an investigation, I don't want to be here for this. That doesn't make you look innocent, fool. You know, with a few exceptions, but overall, that's not how it works, buddy. Over a career spanning more than 15 years in sports journal. All right, here we go. Let's watch. Let everyone gather around. Let's watch her pat herself on the back. At NBC, ESPN, and The Athletic, I've built a body of work I am proud of. We don't give a whatever. I've broken stories, earned the trust of sources across the league, and been guided by the highest standards of professional conduct. That record speaks for itself. I remain grateful to The Athletic and for the extraordinary colleagues with whom I have worked there for the platform of writer for the support you showed me during this difficult time. I wish you nothing but success. All right, so here's the point. She appreciated when The Athletic had her back. She didn't appreciate when they were doing an investigation. Just let them clear her name if there's nothing to worry about. So the only way, Dianna, the only way you would have been satisfied is if nobody tried to hold you accountable. Nobody investigated. Everyone just jacked your word for it, right? Would you accept that in any other place in your life? Huh? If you could easily just like, hey, let me just check your phone, babe. Or if you could look at someone in a NFL organization who is not allowing himself to be cleared by an investigation, but instead avoids, just take my word for it, don't investigate me. You would write a hit piece on that person. You wouldn't even accept this if you were someone looking at this outside looking in. So what makes you think you're gonna mindfuck us into thinking? But anyway, here's the point. We can't prove it. That's the thing. She is free to deny it because there's no definitive proof of a sausage entering hot dog bun. None of those types of photos or videos, not that I don't think anyone wants to see it, I don't think those videos are out there. So if you can't prove I did it, then you can argue that it happened, and I can argue that it didn't happen to the end of fucking time, and we're never going to get a conclusion, okay? So even though in our heart of hearts, we feel like we know what really happened, we can't really prove it without the sausage and the hot dog bun footage. But I think it's inferred by the photos. The photos didn't happen at a goddamn Buffalo Wild Wings. It happened in an adult-only resort. And they were more than just sitting next to each other photos. And oh, by the way, where are the other like 5-6 people they're talking about? Okay, maybe they woke up early. You know, maybe they woke up early to have breakfast together and everyone else was still asleep. Maybe everyone was just out of frame. Maybe Diana's husband is right there, right here, dick in hand. Maybe in this hot tub, which is pretty much this big, right? It's this big. Maybe all 5-6 people are all piled in right on this corner right here. But here's the issue. They could be. They actually literally could be, physically, scientifically speaking. So Diana knows that, you know, without definitive proof, you know, this is like, I'm pretty sure type shit, but this is not like a definitive. She could deny it till the end of time. Okay, so what are we going to do, right? What are we going to do? Well, enter stage left, Coach Vrabel. All right, so Coach Vrabel, he made a statement. I don't think he took questions on it, but he just made a statement. And we're going to watch a summarized version of it from CBS Boston.
You know, I've had some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. You know, we believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me. That starts with me. We never want our actions to negatively affect the team. We never want to be the cause of a distraction, you know, and those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and, you know, to ourselves. I care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that my family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going forward. And that's what I know, and I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to just address this and thank you for your patience in dealing with the private and personal matter. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I know there's been chit chat about like the draft media availability. Was he avoided it and someone else came in there and did it? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yeah, it doesn't look good. However, it was on paper. It was on paper before this page 6 thing came out that Mike Vrabel was never supposed to do that anyway. So I just want to be fair. Feel me? However, wow. So here's two people clearly involved in a situation, and they said two polar opposite statements. One, I mean, neither of them explicitly said, oh yeah, sausage, hot dog bun. No, she said it didn't happen. This is all BS. He said, I'm sorry. I had a lot of difficult conversations. I care deeply about whatever. I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to be better. That sort of shtick. Okay. If you want to keep it a buck, he didn't really say that much. He didn't really like show his cards, come clean. It was a lot of coach speak. It was like a lot of nothing burgers. But what makes it a something burger is seeing how different it was from Diana's response. Diana was complete denial. His was an ambiguous, I'm sorry for what I did. I will be better. Wow. That is what makes it like, Oh, this is a something burger, all right. And this is the latest update. Mike Vrabel said he will seek counseling and will not be with the team for the final day of the 26th draft after addressing photos of him holding hands with sports reporter, whoever the fuck. Vrabel told ESPN he will spend the weekend with his family outside of Massachusetts instead of being in New England's draft war room Saturday. He will remain in contact with the team and express confidence that Exec Vice President of Player Personnel Elliot Wolf and Vice President of Player Personnel Ryan Cowden will be able to complete the draft. According to ESPN, Vrabel said, "As I said the other day, I promised my family, this organization, and this team that I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I have committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. This is something that I've given a lot of thought to and is something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them." I think this goes to show he's trying to be an example. He knows his players are not fucking stupid. Like Dianna thinks whoever her message is for, the public, us, she thinks we're stupid enough to believe that. Vrabel knows his players are not that fucking stupid. So he knows he's in the spotlight, he's on the chopping block. What would I ask my players to do in this situation? I gotta do that same thing. I've always wanted to lead by example, and I believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I possibly can be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. Now, over the coming days, when people have time to digest, they're going to talk about, why don't you leave the whole draft? Why are you just leaving on the day 3 of the draft? Or, little logistical decisions. And why did you announce this on day 1 of the draft? Like you said, you don't want to take attention away from the kids at the draft, but at the same time, you do got to announce this at some point. At the same time, day 1 of the draft is the most exciting day. So are you doing this so that you aren't the only thing people talking about the day of this announcement? People are going to unpack that over the coming days. I'm sure of it. Coach Vrabel was a player. He was a good player. He knows how players think. And this gives me an assumption as well. Dianna was probably saying to her husband, "Babe, I was just there getting a story. Like, it's not what the pictures look like. These people are so full of it." And I hope his husband's not jacking it, especially not now, after all this shit happened on the Vrabel side of the situation. Vrabel probably couldn't move forward with hey, this is BS. The only way that could have happened is if his wife was in on it. "Hey, I'm going to be over here with 5-6 friends. Hey, Diana's here. Hey, say hi to Dianna, honey. Oh yeah, there it is, right on FaceTime. Okay, talk to you later." Then everything would have been on the up and up. I think the reason why he had to have such difficult conversations with his wife and his family is probably because he wasn't where he was supposed to be. He probably told them, "Hey, I'm over here in this other city, in this other state, having a meeting about this other thing." And then you find out on that same hour of that same day, I was in a hot tub with this girl. And then the wife is like, "Listen, this is fucking sus. You told me you were at X location, but you're at Y location. Why would you lie to me if nothing's going on?" You see what I'm saying? These are probably the kind of tough conversations he's had to have. Now, that's obviously presumptuous, but putting the pieces together, if she was in on it the whole time, Coach Vrabel's wife, she probably wouldn't have had to have a tough conversation, because she would have been like, "Hey, I knew the whole time. You told me, honey, that you were over there with the boys. And the buddy bears." So, that's something that comes to mind. I feel like this is a very tough time, obviously, for the Vrabel family, but they gotta fucking lay in that bed that Mike made for them, because he's the one that fucked up. Now, Dianna, I feel sorry for her husband. I don't feel sorry for her because, listen, I don't keep up with The Athletic. I see something from The Athletic, I don't click on it. I don't want them to get a fraction of a penny out of me because of Dianna Russini. Her work has harmed so many lives unnecessarily, not even football related shit half the time, just some personal shit you didn't even, it's fucked up. And then when people talk back, they're like, she's all like, "Oh, woe is me, I'm so sweet and innocent, I couldn't hurt a fly. What are you talking about?" And there's that whole fucking thing, and I'm just like, nah. But seeing as how The Athletic was and still is going to complete their investigation, I'm pretty sure they're still going to complete it, I might go ahead and fuck with The Athletic now. Especially since Dianna was the reason that I didn't fuck with him. But this is the crazy shit of, one of the crazy shits of all time, because they had 2 reverse tactics. Dianna had 10 charisma in Fallout, and she did the charisma dialogue option and failed. This is the crazy shit of all time. Now, granted, you could put like if you want to keep it as blunt as possible, they both did a shitty thing. Okay, they both did a shitty thing, but one is trying to be a shitty person in the best way possible, and the other is doubling down on shittiness. That's the difference. Ironically, this is going to make Mike look way better than her. If they both took the I'm going to take counseling route, I'm going to be better, then we would be still looking at both like, y'all still did it though. That was still kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that one took dialogue option A and the other one took dialogue option B is going to make one look way better and make the other look way worse. Another thing, you spend 18 hours a day in the facility. People are going to have girlfriends, boyfriends that are not their husband and wife. Not everyone partakes in that. Not everyone does. But it's a thing that happens. And it's not fantastic. I don't like that. I've been in industries where it's been similar, where boyfriends and girlfriends are not uncommon, but that doesn't mean that you have to partake in that. And I was always blessed that my mentors in those spaces never took part in that shit, and I was never pressured to either. And we also got to keep in mind that Vrabel's first response was calling it innocent and laughable. And only now is he taking accountability. Now you gotta wonder, does Vrabel deserve any grace? Because he wasn't planning on taking accountability until he got caught, right? It's not like he had a come to Jesus moment all by himself. He's in trouble, and even when he first got caught, he still denied it. It's only when it became undeniable and he realized. Gotta be a good example to the players why he's taking this route. And he should take this route. So how much grace does he deserve? I don't know. Up to you, to be honest. Like I said before, the fact that he did take this route at some point and Dianna is still in full denial is going to make Mike not look good. I'm not saying he's going to look good. He's going to look way better than otherwise. There's also been some commentary on speculations of sexist, unmoored from facts. Listen, if she's held to a different standard because she's a woman, like a tougher standard, then call out sexism. Call it what it is. The less sexist the world gets day by day, the better. We're all humans. We don't have many differences. The differences are pretty meaningless, meaning average bone density, average height, average weight, that sort of thing. Like, but what does that got to do with how good of a reporter you could be? You know what I mean? There's some industries where women actually know to be better leaders and so on and so forth. So the less sexist the world gets, good. Where the fuck is the sexism in this situation? Where the fuck is the sexism in this situation? First of all, the media had her back as fuck, which had nothing to do with if she was a guy or a girl. I think it's just because she was a friend, okay? Now, her losing her job, okay, she doesn't have that job anymore. Her contract was up in a couple months anyway. Her contract was up already. She didn't lose it because she was the one. She lost it because she fucked up. I mean, if she was innocent, wouldn't you think she would have just stuck around till the investigation concluded, cleared her name, and then she could have left? You know what I mean? She obviously thought leaving would be like, hey, no more investigation needed. But they're going to do it anyway. Fuck you. And she also said that the accusations themselves were sexist. It doesn't look like fake accusations anymore, does it? Now you just look like a piece of shit. In denial. I'm reading here on the side that she failed to provide evidence requested by the Athletic, like texts, hiking photos, airport pickup proof, internal outrage, led to investigation into her NFL coverage and possible lies, public backlash, accusations of poor handling, no friends statements or counter photos, which was seen as evasive, absolutely. Can't wait to see what the Patriots statement is eventually going to be. And please do not let the fucking media off the hook, because we got to hold them accountable. Journalism, they are there to hold the government and the powers that be accountable for the people. So the people have to hold them accountable to do that fucking exact thing. So do not forget to hold the media accountable. Do not forget that the outlets downplayed this story initially, and now that it's exposed, etc., hold them accountable. That's the whole fucking reason for their existence. It's not about making up stories, it's about finding the story. But it's turned into a culture of making up stories, even if stories didn't exist there. There's some level of that is necessary, but it's gone to a level that is obviously bad for society, in my opinion. And now when there's this case of a story actually being there, they're like, hey, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Suck my dick. The media tried all these nothing burger things, sexism, there's a group hangout, whatever. I tell you one thing, we're people too. Look, you, me, One thing I like, at least I appreciate with Coach Vrabel, is that he is not going to gaslight his players. So us ourselves, let's not be gaslit either. Not by the goddamn media, not by Russini. I think this is fucking proof that these two are not talking at all. Like, they are not coordinating. How do we want to respond to this, honey? My secret lover. How do we want to respond there? Because they took two very different fucking dialogue options. Oh my gosh. This is proof that they're not talking anymore. They're not even on the same playbook. This is wow. Wow. Anyway, NFL draft is tonight. It is true. Don't forget to remember that this is going to be the best day of their lives yet, and that should be celebrated. This is for NFL fans. If you don't care about the NFL, then it doesn't matter to you. But also don't forget to hold the media accountable. Don't forget to hold Russini accountable. I'm not saying go bully her. I'm not saying go find her and throw eggs at her. Just don't let her brainwash you is what I mean. Don't let her gaslight you. And hold Vrabel accountable. Obviously, we don't work for him. We can't really do that. But, let him prove himself. You got to feel most sorry for the families. If his family, if his wife, family, if they're good, then good. Because he's got to make it right with them, before anybody else. Honestly, but before even the players. Before us, he shouldn't even care about us, if I'm going to be frank. He's going to make it right with his family. I don't know if Dianna, I don't know if I foresee her doing that with her family situation. So I hope so, because I'm sure we've seen all the times Dianna lightheartedly shit on her husband, and I just feel more and more sorry for. He's like the new goddamn Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, like just taking punches publicly, left and right. Yeah. With all that said, life is bigger than all this. The world keeps spinning. You have loved ones in your life right now who are going through something that you may not even know about. Check in on your loved ones. Just remind them you love them. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't take anything too seriously. All we're going to do is just die anyway. Goodbye forever for now.